Hey guys, and welcome to the May edition of the U2 Layout Hop. This month's theme was to use die cuts, so I started by pulling out this set of die cuts by Pink Paisley. This is, I don't even know, it's the Portfolio Ephemera pack, and I pulled out a bunch of die cuts that I think will work with the layout. This is the photo that I'm using. It's my nephew Gabriel, and he's wearing eye patches over both of his eyes because that's what he decided to do that day. So I wanted to scrapbook that, and a lot of the phrases that came in this die pack set actually match. Kind of like there's playful and there's crazy, and there's one here that says wild and one that says silly. So I really liked this die cut pack for that. And I know that the colors in the picture are very vibrant and bright, and then the die cuts that I'm using have a sort of muted or, less vibrant, I guess, hue to them. So I like that because the contrast between what I'm using around my layout allows my photo, because my photo is so bright, to really pop off the page. So I'm starting with that, and then I pulled the Reflections kit by Lori Whitlock for Echo Park out because it also has lots of muted colors in it that I think will work well with the die cuts that I pulled and with the photo. And then I have my Lawn Fawn embellishments from all of their, what do you call those? Their Lawn Fawn kits, the Freckled Fawn kits. It's not Lawn Fawn, it's Freckled Fawn. From their Oh Dear Me kits. It's Freckled Fawn. I get those two mixed up in my brain sometimes. But all my Freckled Fawn kits are above me here, so that's what I'm going to try to use to embellish this layout. So with that, we're going to go ahead and get started. Thank you guys for watching. Hey guys, so the first step of going through this process is to go through this kit that I have from the Echo Park and just try to figure out which of the papers I want to use for this layout. I liked that dark blue with the doily, but I thought that it just would eat up the die cuts that I was going to use. And the die cuts are the main portion of this page. It is our theme for this month. So I definitely wanted the die cuts to take up the majority or be the, the most noticeable embellishment on the page. So I decided on these couple of papers here, and I wanted some yellow as well, but I wasn't sure if I wanted to layer all of these backgrounds or what I was going to do. So as I was sorting through them, I thought about that brown and then decided against it. And what I decided to do was that I really liked the way the die cuts looked against the dark blue. You'll see me pull them out here and put those die cuts next to the dark blue, and I find that I really like how the die cuts stand out against that dark blue paper. So I decide, I'm just going through some embellishments here and seeing what I like, but I decide early on that I'm going to use that dark blue paper as my background. Here's where I'm really going to decide when I put these die cuts on there, and really like how the contrast is between the lightness of those die cuts and the darkness of that paper. And then I thought I would use the script paper, but then again I thought that the background was competing with those die cuts, so I didn't want to do that. But I decided there that I was going to use that dark blue sort of, I guess it's kind of a floral print as my background, but then I was going to double matte my photo. So I'm going to matte my photo first on this sort of green kind of paper, and then I'm going to matte it again on that yellow paper that you saw earlier. There we go. And I'm just eyeballing it. I wasn't being very precise about any of this. I scrapbooked one page last week, and this is the first page I'm scrapbooking this week, so. And I will warn you that I had dental surgery on Friday, and I'm recording this video a bit under the influence of some pain medicines. So if things get out of hand, you've been forewarned. So anyway, I'm just kidding. So I decided that I was going to ink all of the edges of the papers to make them stand out a little bit. I used Walnut Stain Distress ink to ink all the edges, which is my favorite brown to use the edges. I'm using my Caterpillar Pro. I'm still trying to use that one. So I really like this double layer here, and I like how it really pops that photo up off of that dark blue background. And I guess the most difficult thing about using a whole selection of die cuts at one time is just to figure out where on the page they should go. And that's what you're going to see me doing a lot of here, is moving these die cuts around, trying to figure out how I want to layer them. I actually have, there's only 3 tags on there now, but I actually have 5 tags that I pulled from that pink paisley set, and I really wanted to use them all. And then I had all of these kind of descriptor words, and I thought maybe I would make a cluster of descriptor words, and then I decided that I would just call the page You Are. My title for this page is You Are, and then I would use all of these words as descriptors of what I believe Gabe is, at least in what he's portraying in this photo. And pretty much they sum him up all the time, so they work. There's where I found my other 2 tags. I was like, oh, I have 5 of them. So you'll see me go back and play with the tags and figure them out. But what I'm working on right now is just trying to figure out in what order and which way looks good to me about putting these die cuts down the side there. And like I said, because die cuts were our theme, I wanted those to be the #1 embellishment on this page. So I used heavily that pink paisley ephemera pack. And all of everything you see on the page right now, except for the background papers, are from that ephemera pack. So I'm just laying down these 5 tags, and I'm trying to figure out in which order and how I want them to lay. And then I decide that I'm going to use these arrows on the side here to sort of move your focus to the photo itself. So I'm just going through and looking to see if there's any other embellishments sitting on my desk that I want to use, because I felt like I needed a little bit more down where those arrows are, and I couldn't figure that out. So I decided, well, let me go and ink the edges of these tags, and at least because I know the general area the tags are going to go in, I decided that I would go ahead and just get those down. So I'm going to pop some of them up on foam adhesive. I'm going to layer some of them directly onto the page and just kind of alternate it to give that portion of the layout some dimension. So you'll see I'm going to use my foam adhesive on this one here, and I decided that I was going to pop up the tops of all of the tags, and as you guys know, typically I do that. I'll pop the top up of all the tags, whether they're on foam adhesive or not, and then I always will wrap twine or string or something inside the holes, you know, those little holes. When I put that Look at You tag down, it was dipping in the middle, so I needed to put some more foam adhesive in the middle of that. I know it's shocking that I needed to add more foam adhesive, but I was trying to be good and not use as much of it, but no, the whole back needs to be filled in. And then I wasn't sure, because really 4 tags would have gone here, but I had 5, so I was determined that I was going to get 5 on this layout. So it's just a matter of moving them all around, trying to figure out how it looks best. I knew I wanted them to span all the way over to the edge of the layout. So, and I also knew that I didn't want them to create sort of a up and down sort of, I wanted them to be all pretty level with each other. I didn't want to create this sort of jagged up and down line across the page. I wanted them to be, now I don't want, as you'll see, they're not perfectly straight across the top or the bottom, but I didn't want that distance between the tags, the vertical distance between those tags to be, distracting or something like that. So I decided that I would keep them pretty much on the same vertical line and not create too much of that sort of mountain and valley look. And then I found these Freckled Fawn clips. They are these little yellow paper clips, and I know you're supposed to clip them to paper, but I like the arrow, and I thought it looked nice, so I decided that I would further embellish those arrows with those 3 clips from Freckled Fawn. And I'm going to now start to put those down because I'm pretty happy with how that looks. So I'm going to put all of the paper arrows down just with my Tombow Mono glue there without putting any of them up on dimension. And then I'll use glossy accents just a little bit on each of the back of each of those paper clips to adhere those down. And of course you have to pull out the needle every time you use glossy accents because I don't care what you do, that nozzle clogs. I don't know. I cap it right away, it clogs. I leave it open, it clogs. I store it upside down, it doesn't matter, that tip clogs. I don't know. If you have any tips about how to get that to not happen, please send them my way. So I'm going to put those 3 paper clips down, and then I'm going to decide how I'm going to put these words to describe Gabe that I'm going to put down the left-hand side of this layout down. And I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to pop some of them up with foam adhesive, and I'm going to layer some of them directly down on the page flat, and I'm going to ink all of the edges with walnut stain distress ink, except I'm going to work on this. I'm going to try to remember to put them all down. And what I decided was, because I thought that he was looking especially crazy in this particular photo, I wanted to use a thicker foam adhesive on the back to pop that up the most off of the page. So that's what I'm doing here. And then you'll see I'll stick this down and then remember that I didn't ink the edges. Shocking, because that's what I do. I forget. And it was not coming off of that page. The adhesive, the foam squares that I used went right down on the photo, and as you know, getting adhesive off of photos is kind of a pain. So I just went around with my sponge tool and just tried to make it look like I remembered to do that. So, and then here you'll find that I put the wild down too low, so this smile, or is it, what's it say, sweet? The sweet isn't going to fit, so I'm going to have to pull the wild up and then sort of manhandle these to get them off the photo so that they line up the way that I wanted in the beginning. And then I'm still looking through, I'm trying to figure out what embellishments I want to use. I thought about using these cameras, and I would have used the cameras. I had one that said, "Oh snap," and I had one that said, "Smile." The problem is, that's all those cameras in that pack said. There wasn't one that said a third thing or had a blank circle or something like that. And I didn't want 2 that said smile or 2 that said "oh snap," so I decided against those wood veneer cameras that were from Freckled Fawn. All of those embellishments you see in those brown boxes on my desk are from Freckled Fawn. I keep all my Freckled Fawn kits on my desk out. This is from the June, is that June? Yes, I believe. No, May. What you saw me pull out there was the May This Life Noted kit from Scraptastic, and it had these 3 cork stars in it, so I decided to use those and just put those scattered around the page. And then what am I going to do? I'm going to add the title, so I'm just going to use the letter stickers that came in that Echo Park set, and I'm just going to spell out "UR," and then it'll have all of those words down there. And then this little sticker is also from that recollection sheet. It says, "This is the story." And then I want to use this date and place, and I decided to put that on the vertical on the right side of that photo. I didn't do any journaling on this page at the time that I recorded this video, but I will go back and do some journaling on it later. I added 2 little stickers there. One says "So Loved" and the other one says "Laugh," and those are also from that Echo Park sticker sheet. So everything I use on this page is either from that Echo Park set, that pink paisley ephemera pack, or from a Freckled Fawn "Oh Dear Me" kit. These bling kind of pearl little things, they are from Freckled Fawn, and they had green and yellow, which turned out to be great. So I just put 2 of those around the cork stars. And then I'm going to look for some twine that I want to use in these tags. And I'm going to use this hemp cord from Lawn Fawn to do the 3, I'm going to alternate the, 1, 3, and 5, and then 2 and 4 will be a different color. So you'll see me just play around with this a bit. I put it through in the opposite direction of how I wanted initially, and then I had to pull it out and do it again. But that is what I'm going to work on. And then honestly, this I believe is going to finish up the layout as soon as I get these tags strung, if you will. It's going to take me a little bit of time right here to find some yellow twine I want to use. I thought about using the Lawn Fawn hemp cord, but it was a little bit too bright yellow for me. So I end up using this cord from American Crafts Ribbon, and it's just, I don't know what they call that. I forget now. But it's just, it's a solid, instead of twine, it's like a solid jute. That's what it's called. There we go. It's a jute ribbon, and instead of pulling them through like I pulled the other the other three, I made loops with those, so just to give it a little bit more texture and make it look a little bit different. And then after I'm done putzing around with that, I believe that's gonna end the layout. Yep, cleaning up a little bit. Can't find my lid for my walnut stain, but I'll find that. And then I'm going to give you one final look at the final layout. I promise. Yeah, I'm really looking for my lid. There we go. There's what the final product looks like. And like I said, I will add the journaling in a bit. I wasn't exactly sure what I wanted to say about this photo. He's doing the Ray Lewis intro dance from the Baltimore Ravens in this photo, but he's got pirate patches over both of his eyes. So I have to think of some funny journaling for this page, and when I do that, I'll add that, and then it'll go in my book. So I thank you very much for watching the YouTube layout hop. Make sure you go along and you watch everyone else's video and comment, and then you will be entered to win a prize. And don't forget that the YouTube layout hop also has a Facebook page, and you can go over and like that and then get all the updates about when the layout hop is happening and things like that. I hope you guys are having a great weekend, and I will see you next time. Bye.